I think one of the really cool things about this world is that when you're a child, before puberty, your demon is changeable, and it can change into any shape depending on what mood or just what you desire or what would help the situation. But when you reach puberty, when you start to settle on who you actually are, your demon also settles on a form, on an animal's form. And I guess the day that Lord Asriel's demon settled as a snow leopard, he went, wow, I'm totally badass. And I'm a real loner. And this is the other interesting thing. In this world, once your demon settles, you get to look at yourself and go, wow, I'm a subservient dog, or I'm a flighty sparrow, or I'm a badass snow leopard that just like just walks his own path. You know what I mean? And it's just it's a very different kind of I guess relationship with yourself, and your own kind of self-possession changes because you've got a reflection of yourself right in front of you. You can't really hide from. You can't lie to, and you can't lie about yourself. And by the way, everybody else can see what your soul is like as well. It's a really interesting, makes for interesting relationship dynamics.
James, you are both intensely curious and curiously intense.
Curious.
Stole my line. In this part, one of the things about Lord Asriel that's interesting is so much of him is pulled in. He's got a lot of mystery to him, and a lot of what you have to convey is limited, at least certainly at the beginning. You're not allowed to convey a lot of what's on your mind, and both you and Ruth have to be not so nice to a child. I mean, you're not mean to her, but you're not, a little withholding.
I'm giving a lot mean.
Right. I mean,
I'm not withholding the mean. I wouldn't say. I think what's really interesting. You said earlier, this is a sort of a coming of age story in a lot of ways around Dafne. And it's an amazing story of a young person who's an orphan who is struggling to identify herself, and she has these two sort of proxy figures in her life, this uncle and this woman, Miss Coulter, who fill in as proxy parents, it seems, for a while. And she's trying to understand herself through them. I disappear, I run away. Daphne's trying to sort of understand this slippery, mercurial, quixotic figure of Mrs. Coulter as well. And we're so difficult to get a hold of. This girl just needs to get a hold of something. And it's just so compelling. And if we don't withhold, if we aren't mean, which is so crazy, isn't it? That like, a kid is going to love the person that treats them mean, It's like, because it's just someone, It's just heartbreaking. But yeah, we do have to be really mean. My demon's a snow leopard. I'm completely solitary, and I'm a predator. Do you know what I mean? I'm hardly cuddly when I give out, bedtime stories. He's got a very important mission. This whole thing, in many ways, you said again, it's a coming of age story. The story won't work unless she comes of age, and that plays into the themes of the whole thing. The whole thing is about freedom, and Lord Asriel is all about attaining that freedom for everyone on a grand scale that we won't give away right now. But he'll sacrifice any love in his life for that goal, for that purpose. And some little girl that he keeps an eye on sometimes, he'll put that second.
In many ways, the characters are archetypal mother and father characters. They start one way, they end another. In some ways, she's bouncing off the two of you, looking for nurturing, looking for guidance, hero worship, and disappointment. Did you, Ruth and James, talk together about how you would play that, or how you would engage?
We met on this, I think, the last 4 days of the shoot. I got the job very last minute. I got called by a very good friend of mine who's the casting director. I'm like, hey, you know these books, right? I was like, yeah, man, I've read them 3 times. They went, you want to come and play Lord Asriel starting Friday? I was like, yeah. So we really didn't have much chance to talk about anything, you and I, did we?
No, but I've seen it, and he's pretty mean, and I'm pretty mean, so I think we've got...
They're quite similar. You're very similar to me. Yeah, not good.
You're wondering, I mean, you've played such a wide array of characters. What's interesting about him is you really don't know whether he's a good man or a bad man or a bad man with a good aim. What particularly appeals to you about Asriel, and are you as ruthless as he?
No, no, I'm totally not as ruthless as he. I'm a total softie in lots and lots of ways, but it's great fun to play somebody that looks at the world and goes, I don't like this, this is utterly wrong, and I am going to change it, and I'm going to rip it apart doing so, and nothing is going to stop me doing that. Love isn't going to stop me, no sort of romantic love, no familial love, no respect for any institution will stop me from making this world a paradise. And emancipating all of us from these systems of oppression. And I think what you said as well earlier, you said Philip Pullman is really celebrating humanity. I think Philip Pullman almost thinks that, I think part of what he sees as one of the prime characteristics of humanity is rational, creative, imaginative thought. And that even plays into her being a liar. Like, that's her imagination, do you know what I mean? He doesn't call her a liar, he calls her silver tongue. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful. And he's a celebrant of imagination and logical, rational thought. And that can lead to faith, but there might be some walls that have to be brought down together.
Hi, I have a question for James. What's the biggest challenge you face? Sorry, I'm so nervous.
You're doing great. Oh, you're okay, you're doing brilliant.
What's the biggest challenge you face when you're portraying the character? And I love you.
This is fantastic. Could we make sure that the next people that ask questions all love me as well? The biggest challenge in playing Asriel, to make a connection when your soul is a snow leopard, a solitary.
Mention snow leopard.
Can I say who Stella Maria is voiced by the way?
Oh yes, go on.
With the voice of Helen McCrory, which is incredible. So, like, she's got that sort of remoteness as well, so that's quite interesting. Also, this is a man with like a massive, extreme purpose, and he knows what that purpose is. He's got no doubts about who he's going after, why he's going after them, and what the hell he's going to do to them. But I can't give that away to anybody in the show or anybody in the audience for a long ass time. What? Okay, thanks for that. You spoke when they laughed, what? Okay. We're moving on. So that's tricky because you're basically doing that thing of like, he's enigmatic, he's mercurial, he's quixotic, which is brilliant for the audience if we get it right, but it's tricky for the actor because you can never quite nail down anything hard to get, you know what I mean? So that's the most difficult thing I'd say. Thank you for your question, thank you for loving me.